Fuck Sean Con. Duval told me die.
Duval.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but I really hate this time of year in terms of making content because there really ain't shit happening. The draft already happened. The all that's really going on right now is OTAs, and it just feels like if I were to make videos about that, it'd be forcing content that people simply don't want to see. It's like, oh, Travis Hunter did this in camp. Trevor Lawrence did this in camp. Brian Thomas Jr. did that in camp. It's like, dude, who gives a fuck? Because one thing I've learned over my years of just being a football fan, reports you hear about what somebody is doing in training camp, it doesn't mean shit. Like, how quiet was camp last year about Brian Thomas, and look at the year he had. And I remember years ago of how I'd see a report damn near every fucking day about Blaine Gabbert having a great day in camp. And then when the games got here, he sucked. So, moral of the story is just all these reports you're seeing about, if it's anything negative or positive, really, don't put any stock into it. Just wait till you see what happens when the games are played, because it really just, in all actuality, it doesn't mean shit. So, yeah, and just with that, in terms of, like, trying to force content, it's like, I don't want to do, it's like, I don't want to do that, so it sucks staying away, not making videos, but, like, I honestly don't know what the fuck to talk about, because that shit in camp is just so irrelevant. But, however, since it is pretty slow and, people are talking about this in terms of Jaguars fan base, it deserves mention. So, let's get into it. For those of you who don't know, Gaylen has pretty much requested a trade from the Dolphins. I think they want to trade him too. And long story short, they're done with him. And he's done with them. So he'll be playing somewhere else next year. His cap hit is a bit of an issue, but I'm sure somebody's going to want it. But people are all freaking out now for the Jaguars because he's put all this Jaguar stuff back on his Instagram, and he even posted this long drawn-out tweet and say how he's loved every city he's played for, and our anger is misplaced, and yada yada. You get it. Go read his fucking Instagram if you don't. I'm paraphrasing basically, but also he put a picture in his story of him in a Jags uniform. Well, I hate to be and people got freaked out about this. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he literally did that with every single team he's played for. But that's not to say here, neither here nor there. But people are wondering, could he possibly come back to the Jaguars? And once again, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but no. It's not happening. Like, here's the thing. Like, let me put my hatred aside for this piece of shit just to talk about this and explain why it's not going to work. Number one, he wouldn't come back here. Like, he can say all he wants that he loves the city and all this shit. I know deep down he does not want to come back here. Because if you followed his whole career, it's a pattern with him. When Saxonville fell off, he left. After the Rams won their Super Bowl and they started falling off a little bit, he left. And this latest chapter with the Dolphins, they had a good year 2 years ago, and then they didn't make the playoffs. Now he's leaving again. Do you see the pattern here? Like, every time shit gets tough or a team starts losing, he wants to fucking leave. And now, granted, the Jaguars should be a lot better this year as far as, just overall. Like, it's pretty, I think the Jaguars are going to win way more than 4 games. Whether they make the playoffs or not, a lot of things have to happen. And, our coaching and front office situation last year was atrocious. You got to throw that in there. And it seems to be a lot better. But one thing I do know, the Jags are going to win a lot more than 4 games. Whether they make the playoffs or not, who the hell knows. But that being said, the Jags still came off of a 4-13 season last year. He's not going to view that as someone that's, prime for contention, because that's what he wants. If you look at his whole pattern, he's happy as long as the team's winning. But when they're not, that's all of a sudden when he wants, I'm out. But that's pretty much his MO, and that's how it's always been. And two, I don't know that the Jags would want him back. Like, they seem pretty set on, Tyson Campbell, Jarian Jones, Jordan Lewis, that being their starting 3. And what does that say about the confidence that they have in Jarian Jones, who they now signed Jordan Lewis specifically so they can play Jarian on the outside, where he honestly should be, because he was really our best cornerback last year. So why stunt his growth by bringing Gaylen in? Because then where's he going to play? Unless you're going to put Gaylen at safety, which I don't think he would want to do that. So, like, where does that... So that just throws everything into a shit tailspin. And 2, you have to give up draft compensation, and he's carrying a $25 million cap hit, which he's not going to adjust. So it's like, yeah, I get, James Gladstone's already proven he likes to make bold and aggressive moves, but, like, this is one that truly makes no sense. So I don't see why he would... So, yeah, I just don't see how this would work or why either party would want to do this. Like, I know Jags fans have this premonition that now that, Tom Coughlin was the whole reason he left. Now that they're gone, it's possible and blah, blah, blah. But let's be real. Tom Coughlin was basically used as a scapegoat for Gaylen to get a legitimate excuse to get the fuck out. He didn't want to be... The real reason he didn't want to be here is because, 1, the market's not big enough for him. Because, of course, that's another one that listened to Dion's dumbass and saying he needs to be in a bigger market. So the market's not big enough for him. And 2, the team probably to him isn't in a position it needs to be in for, us to contend. And we could be wrong, and it very well could be, but to him, that's not the case. So, like I said, I know Jags fans want him back so bad for whatever fucking reason, which I personally, how I feel. I don't want the headache back again. So, but there's plenty of fans that do, and I just... I don't get it, but, I will say he is talented. We'll call a spade a spade. He is a very good corner, but, at the same time, it's like, do we really need him? Do we really need to part with, a third or fourth round, a third or even second round pick when we're already behind the 8 ball with draft capital anyway because we don't have a first round pick? Like, I just don't see how it would work from either side, to be honest. So, that's my thoughts. Am I missing, you can let me know in the comments. Am I missing something here? But, yeah, I'm like 99.9% sure Gaylen's not coming back here. So, is what it is. That's it. That's all, people. It's been your boy Jagging Off. Go Jags. Duval till I die. I'm gone.